The health emergency disaster due to the spread of the novel Wuhan coronavirus, also known as COVID-19, is a type of influenza, and it continues to bring challenges and new forms of communicating, ways of doing business or not, and general altered living conditions, as a stay-at-home order means that everyone's life has changed this spring. DCTV Daily News and partners continue to work diligently to bring you the latest information and how this impacts you, the community. Wash your hands, stay well and strong. I'm Kendra Cook, your host for the DCTV Daily News program out of Dove Creek, Colorado. The Dolores County Broadcasting Network is the producer of DCTV with support from the Southwest Colorado TV Translator Association. That's the Special District Association responsible for bringing the area free-to-access TV stations over the air by antenna. This is a community TV station. If there's a news story or event information that you would like to share, you can call us at 970-677-4119 and leave a message. And if you're a business or organization, we welcome you to find out about sponsorship opportunities for banners or video segments run on the channel. This is the Tuesday program for April 14th, 2020. DCTV Daily News. The Journal reports on the food distribution in Montezuma County with a photo Patrick Armijo. The key to cooking for a lot of people is to use your imagination and to never make the same mistake twice, says Rebecca Lee, chef at the Cortez Senior Center. Delivery drivers arrived late Monday morning to transport the meals, which included fried rice, a homemade roll, and chocolate pudding to elderly residents who are no longer able to cook for themselves and don't live with family members. Since March 26, when Governor Jared Polis's stay-at-home order went into effect, John Parker, director of Montezuma County Senior Service, said the number of clients who rely on Meals on Wheels has almost doubled to the current 76 who are served out of the Cortez Senior Center. Lori Thompson, nutrition director for Montezuma County Senior Services, said a similar spike has occurred at the Meals on Wheels programs based in Mancos and Dolores' senior centers. Both centers now serve 28 clients each, also almost double their client base from before coronavirus restrictions took effect. So far, Thompson says she's been able to procure the added supplies for the added meals, but she worries about the long-term ability to get a few key items like eggs and milk. Salad lettuce also is showing up on scarcity lists. Besides the added meals, Thompson said the number of meals routes for Meals on Wheels in Cortez has doubled from 4 to 8. MoCo Public Transportation is helping with several routes, as is Community Connections, Inc. Hot meals are prepared for clients at the Cortez Senior Center every weekday except Tuesday. In Mancos, hot meals are prepared Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and in the town of Dolores, hot meals are prepared Monday and Wednesday. In Cortez, delivery drivers on Friday pick up meals prepared at the Share House, including a lot of fresh vegetables and fruits. Meals on Wheels asks for a $4 donation from clients receiving meals, but Thompson said no one is denied a meal if they can't pay. Back in January, Parker grew worried about continued discouraging reports about the impacts of COVID-19 around the world, and he began looking for ways to supplement the offerings available to seniors through Montezuma County Senior Service. He was able to supply several months' worth of frozen meals, and about once a week, a box of frozen meals goes out with the hot Meals on Wheels deliveries to supplement the diets of clients who are chiefly elderly people living alone and developmentally disabled individuals. Last week, Parker said Meals on Wheels sent out 700 supplemental frozen meals in addition to the hot meals from the kitchens at the Cortez, Mancos, and Dolores Senior Centers. Parker believes he has a supply lined up to provide supplemental frozen meals for the next 6 months. Usually, one box with 7 frozen meals goes out to each Meals on Wheels client each week. Quote, they meet all the federal and state nutritional requirements. It's things like chicken parmesan with fruit, Parker said of one of the popular frozen meals. Despite almost doubling meals, Parker said he is hopeful his budget can handle the increased demand. He's looking for additional federal, state, and private nonprofit grants, and he believes some additional money is set aside in the Coronavirus Aid, Relief, and Economic Security Act signed by President Donald Trump on March 27th. Anyone who does want to help with the programs at the Cortez Senior Center can write a check to the Cortez Senior Center and mail it to 107 North Chestnut Street in Cortez, Colorado 82321. You can put Meals on Wheels in the memo line to funnel it to the meals program. In several months, the whole crew is looking forward to a remodel of the kitchen at the Cortez Senior Center as well. Parker said all new appliances, stainless steel shelving and tables, and a new walk-in freezer will replace equipment that is decades old. The remodeled kitchen will be a special gift for seniors when the centers can reopen on the other side of the COVID-19 pandemic. And here in Dove Creek, our Dolores County Senior Services are handling meal pickups and deliveries on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays for seniors who are registered with the system. But if you are in need of additional food due to coronavirus Operation COVID-19 repercussions, The Rock, reaching out to community and kids, is offering another drive-by pickup this Friday at 3 p.m. Proof of Dolores County residency is required, and please do not leave your vehicle. And the Community Voice has acquired additional funding for continued food distribution through The Rock for months to come. Our local Dove Creek Care and Share Pantry is also working with all community elements to ensure that no one goes hungry. If you need immediate assistance, you can contact them directly. That's Kat and Keith Kiesling at 970-769-0005 or 970-769-0006. And thank you to all of the sponsors and supporters, donors and volunteers who are all helping to make the food distributions feed our community. And it's not a bad idea this year to get your garden going with edibles. Though we have good resources at this time, distribution supply chains could be compromised, which would be very bad. Gardening is good for your health and good for your soul, as they say. Even a little patch of dirt and water can provide some additional fresh produce. Main Supply here in Dove Creek is selling a range of plant starts. Though just like last night was below freezing, it's not safe to put out your tender plants just yet. But if you have a nice windowsill and you want to get started, there's some available at Main Supply. And now let's take a look at that local weather for this week. Today it's sunny but cold with a high near 43 degrees, and those north winds around 15 miles an hour make it feel a bit colder as well. Tonight, mostly clear with a low around 23 degrees. Last night we had a low of 17, very frosty southwest of Dove Creek. Tonight there will remain a northwest wind about 5 to 10 miles an hour, becoming south-southeast after midnight. And for Wednesday, sunny with a high near 54 degrees. Still those northeast winds at 5 to 15 miles an hour shift finally to the southwest in the morning, but it still is going to be kind of cold tomorrow. Wednesday night, mostly cloudy and a low around 33 degrees. Those southwest winds at 5 to 10 miles an hour become south after midnight. And now in our forecast coming into Thursday, we have a 20% chance for showers for the afternoon. Partly sunny the rest of the day, warming up with a high near 57 degrees. South-southeast winds at 5 to 15 miles an hour become west in the afternoon, and those winds on Thursday could gust as high as 25 miles an hour. For Thursday night, we have a slight chance of rain showers before 9 p.m., and then a slight chance of rain and snow showers on the overnight. Mostly cloudy with a low around 32 degrees. The chance of precipitation is low at just 20%, and there shall be no noticeable accumulation. Might be a skiff of snow on things that when you wake up. On to Friday, we have a slight chance of snow showers before 10 a.m. in the morning, and then a slight chance of it turning to rain showers. Mostly sunny overall with a high near 57 degrees. And again, the precipitation chance remains low at just 20%. For Friday night, looking at partly cloudy skies with a low around 32. And then a nice weekend for those who know what the weekend days are. Saturday, mostly sunny with a high near 56 degrees. Saturday night, partly cloudy and a low around 31. And for Sunday, mostly sunny with a high near 62. Sunday night, partly cloudy and a low around 37. And now, back to our news. From the Durango Herald with a photo courtesy David Torres. The Durango Police Department is investigating a suspicious death that occurred Sunday behind Walmart in Durango. Police and medics were notified at 2:50 p.m. of an unconscious man not breathing and blue in color. Someone on scene began CPR efforts until medics arrived. Medics continued CPR efforts, but life-saving measures were ultimately unsuccessful, said Commander Jacob Dunlop with the Durango Police Department. There were some potential suspicious circumstances, which are leading us to conduct a thorough investigation before we make a determination as to whether it was natural causes or not, Dunlop said. The victim had lived in the area for a little while, Dunlop said, An identification card listed a Durango address, but it was unknown if he was currently living at that address. The man associated with members of the homeless community, and he was found in a tent behind Walmart, but the tent did not belong to the victim, Dunlop said. Police plan to conduct further interviews before making a determination about the cause of death. Quote, several people were on the scene with him and had been around the patient, so we have been interviewing them as well, Dunlop said. La Plata County Coroner Jan Smith said an autopsy is expected to occur this week, maybe as soon as today, Tuesday. Also from the Durango Herald, as one of the first states to legalize recreational cannabis, Colorado is well positioned to make hemp its next big industry. At least Deepak Uktade, director of the new CBD processing startup Vantage Hemp Company, thinks so. The CBD extraction company was set up to start production last month in Greeley, but the COVID-19 outbreak has delayed its original timeline. Uktade said once social distancing is no longer necessary and the company can begin production, the high-volume extraction company will be a leading supplier of CBD hemp, as well as information about the best extraction science. This could be a benefit to hemp growers in other parts of the state who are jumping into the market without understanding the proper methods to keep THC levels under the legal limit. Quote, one thing working against growers are the restrictions on THC, Uktade said. On the federal level, CBD derived from hemp is legal if THC levels are below 0.3%, which is a very difficult number to maintain, Uktade said. If inspectors find the THC level to be beyond the 0.3% limit in a farmer's crops, the crops must be destroyed. It's also hard to grow hemp because it's difficult to find pure hemp seeds, and processing it can be costly and exasperating to learn. Uktade said that the logic behind the 0.3% legal limit is not based on science, and, quote, even if the plant contained 1% THC, it would not be enough to get high off of. But CBD extracted from the hemp plant is growing in popularity to treat conditions like arthritis and anxiety. The 2018 Farm Bill removed hemp from the controlled drug category and labeled it a regular crop because the plant won't cause a high like the marijuana plant will. Vantage Hemp Company aims to provide the raw materials of CBD hemp that others convert into final products for sale. Quote, our primary driver for hiring high-quality people with scientific backgrounds is an industry that is so new it deserves to drive new data, Uktade said. The Vantage Hemp Company team includes people like Daniel Chinnapen, a former Harvard Medical School professor, as chief scientific officer to analyze and maximize efficiency in CBD processing. What we are doing is extraction driven by science, Uktade said. Scott Perez, a hemp grower and agricultural consultant in the Durango area, said the Vantage Hemp Company facility may be a benefit to local farmers in the long run if they can find a good way to extract. But Perez warns there are many different growing climates in southwest Colorado, harsher climates than the Front Range. The plant's Vantage Hemp Company grows may be too weak to handle climates on the western side of the state. And hemp farmers who got into it for CBD last year didn't make out like they had hoped, Perez said. Brian Kuntz, Industrial Hemp Program Manager with the Colorado Department of Agriculture, said there is not a sufficient availability of processors or testing labs in the southwestern part of the state. Growers have few resources for selling or extracting the CBD from their crop. Uktade said that his new CBD processing facility located in Greeley would reduce shipping costs, but Kuntz speculated there's a chance that having a large processor on the eastern side of the mountains could squeeze out the many small-scale farmers in the west. But any research done on hemp is helpful so growers can produce and process their crops more efficiently, Kuntz said. Today's High Canyon Country happenings in the Good News Department. There's a note on Facebook that DCHS Seniors Booster Club scholarships applications will be up today on school's Facebook page, so go check that out. And there are several residents working on creating banners to recognize our senior class, as it looks more likely that there will not be a graduation ceremony. More details on that as they become available. And the Navajo Nation is experiencing an increase in COVID-19 cases with a total of 813 as of Monday the 13th. This includes related deaths to 28. They are also indicating from the health department that additional 85 positive border town cases have been identified, but out of 4,028 tests, 3,028 have returned negative. They are advising all citizens to abide by the health orders limiting public gatherings and establishing a daily curfew from 8 p.m. to 5 a.m. with ongoing patrols for enforcement. And I'm sure you've also heard that in Montezuma County there are now 2 confirmed deaths and a total of 12 who have tested positive or are case-related since they began testing. The Colorado State COVID-19 roundup for the 13th at 4 p.m. shows Colorado has 7,691 cases total. And as always, this is both presumptive from symptoms as well as from tests. And a caveat that not all tests are the same. Testing for the virus or for genetic disposition keeps the data a bit muddled, to say the least. However, we are still seeing now 1,493 people hospitalized in Colorado, and it has been identified in 56 of our 64 counties. Dolores County still has 0 cases. The statistic from the state site shows 38,742 people have been tested, with now 308 deaths linked, related, or caused by the Wuhan coronavirus or as part of the COVID-19 assessment. And a reminder that it is highly suggested that you wear a mask when you are out among other people, even with 6 feet of social distancing, but it is not a citation action. This is a difficult time for acting appropriately under regulations versus encouraged actions, especially when originally the word from the top-down CDC was not to wear a mask unless you were ill, and now there are all types of face coverings that are being worn, whether they prevent others from getting sick or keep the wearer from unknowingly getting others sick. This all still is surrounded by questions and guesses and perceived best practices. The rule of thumb, as they say, is to stay home if you are sick. That's always, hopefully. Wash your hands to keep from contaminating others' surfaces and yourself. Keep yourself healthy with your immune system working to its best function. And in Colorado, stay at home as much as possible to keep down the number of cases being spread. That is an order from the governor, and that expires on April 26th unless it is extended, which is another week and another 2 weeks. And another note from Dolores County, and for everyone out there, be sure to respond to the 2020 census. The data helps provide for products and services for each community, and if you go online, you can fill it out without receiving an invitation card. It takes about 10 minutes. You go to 2020census.gov, or if you aren't on the internet, you can call in and someone will walk you through the questions. The number for the call-in is 844-330-2020. Again, 844-330-2020, and someone will help you answer the questions. And I post up all of these High Canyon Country happenings on our Facebook page, which is the DCTV Daily News page, where you can also watch the program replay, which is pinned to the top daily, along with the news links and stories of local interest. And you too can share other events or news there and join in on our conversation. Again, this is your local community TV station, so if you have something to share, contact us. The email is dcbnnews, that's Dolores County Broadcasting Network News, @gmail.com, or you can call at 970-677-4119 and leave a message. Thanks for tuning in to DCTV Daily News. Programs are broadcast Monday through Friday, if we're allowed in the courthouse on Friday, with replays online on our YouTube channel or our DCTV Daily News on Facebook. If you like the program, please do like and follow us on Facebook and share it with your friends and family. This has been a production of DCTV for the DCTV Daily News program out of Dove Creek, Colorado, USA. I'm Kendra Cook. Again, thank you for watching.